Now we are going to do letter G. Give me the sound G. Now let us pick up some animals and see where they live. What the sound of G? G. So letter G. Letter G, and the sound of letter G is G. Now you think in your mind some animals. Some animals with the letter G. Okay, letter G I have here. Okay, here is the letter G, G sound. Okay, G, 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 G. What's the first animal that comes to your mind when I say letter G? Goat, yeah, very good. A goat. First one, goat. Good. Now, where do you think a goat lives? A goat is always put into a shed. So, a goat lives in a shed. Very good. So, a goat lives in a shed. A goat lives in a shed. Good. A goat lives in a shed. Good. Now, tell me some other animal. Giraffe. Very good. Tall, graceful, beautiful animal. Giraffe. The next animal we are going to talk about is giraffe. A giraffe, a tall giraffe. Where does he live? A giraffe, yes, lives in the forest. Very good. A giraffe lives in the forest. He eats some leaves. What does the giraffe do? He eats up the tall trees, tender leaves. His neck is so long, so he always eats up the leaves from the top of the trees. A lovely little graceful giraffe. Okay, now let's look at some other animal. Giraffe, then goose. Where does the goose live? Goose is a bird. A goose lives in the pond. Very good. A goose lives in a pond. In a pond. What's the sound of G? G. Very good. The sound of G is G, and a goose lives in a pond. So we have done letter G, G. We have goat, giraffe, goose. A goat lives in a shed, a giraffe lives in the forest, and the goose lives in a pond. Now the next letter. What's the next letter? H. H. What's the sound of H? Ha. Ha. Very good. So the next we go into letter H. Letter H. Think of some animals with letter H. Okay, let us say hippo. Where does hippo live? A hippo lives in the water. He loves to lie in water. Then we have hyena. Hyena. Hyena is an animal that lives the leftover of the dead animals. Then hen. Where does the hen live? Hen lives in a pen. Very good. So we have hen, then we have hippo, and we have hyena. Very good. Hyena and hippo. Hippo is a large, ugly animal, huge. It is so huge, the hippo loves to remain in water to cool off. We call it a hippopotamus. A hippopotamus. Now, a hen. Where do they live? A hen lives in a pen. In a pen. A hyena. A hyena lives in the forest. Lives in the forest. Very good. In the forest. Good. And hippo. A hippo lives in the forest. Lives in the forest, but it will look for place in the forest where there is water. He feels too hot and he lies in the cool waters of the forest. That's where he loved to be. So, we are looking at animals with H. Animals that begin with H. H. And what's the sound? Animals, hen, hyena, and hippo. A hen lives in a pen. A hen lives in a pen. A hyena lives in the forest, eating up the leftover of the dead animal. A hippo. Where does the hippo love to lie? In the cool waters of the forest. A hippo lives in the forest, but it also looks for cool waters, pond in the forest. Now, we go into I. What is the sound of I? E. Inky the mouse. You remember? So we're going to do the next letter is I. Letter I. Let's look at some of the animals under letter I. Sound E. Now first I have here is iguana. 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 An iguana lives in the forest. An iguana lives in the forest. In the forest. Next we have, what's the next animal or bird you have? Iguana, ibis. 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 Ibis is a bird. An ibis lives in the lake, in a lake. An ibis Ibis lives in a lake. In a lake. Any more animals you have? Okay, let's talk about insects. Next one is third one, insects. Now, when we say insect, where do you find insects? Insects in our home. They live with you. Who are those insects who live with you? Ants, mosquitoes, lizard, flies. Then we have all kinds of little animals, cockroaches. The cockroach lives in our home. And ants live inside our home and they bite us. Mosquitoes, they enter our house and bite us. And who makes web for us? There are insects that make web for us. And mosquitoes go sit there. And what will he do? The spider will come and eat up the mosquito. So we have insects living with us, cockroaches, flies, ants, spiders, and whatnot. And there are insects that live outside our home in the garden. Again, in the garden, you will find spiders, you'll find flies, other tiny, tiny ants and insects. Some live on the trees. So insects live inside our home and outside our home, anywhere. So an insect lives anywhere at home or outside. An insect lives in our home. And outside. It can be a garden. It can be on the tree, anywhere. All right. Now, let's look at letter I sound E. The sound of letter I is E. Iguana. Iguana lives in the forest. Ibis, the bird, lives in a lake. And all insects, the insect lives in a home or outside anyway. Now, we are looking at letter G, H, and I, and some of the animals that you said, we put it down. G, G sound. Goat, giraffe, goose. Where does the goat live? Goat lives in a shed. A tall, graceful giraffe lives in the forest. A goose lives in a pond. Now, H sound hen, hyena, hippo. A hen lives in a pen. Very good. Hyena lives in the forest. Very good. A hippo. What does hippo love? He loves the cool waters of the forest. A hippo lives in the forest, but he lies in the water to cool off. Letter I sound E. Iguana. Ibis. Insects. Iguana lives in the forest. Ibis lives in the lake. That's a bird. Insect. Where does the insect live? Insect lives in our home with us, troubles us, and also outside. Anyway, it lives anywhere. Good. Where do they live? We have some more letters to go. What's the next letter? Very good. J. J. Jellyfish. Okay? Jellyfish. Jackal. Jaguar. Any more? Good. Let's see now. Letter J. What is the sound of letter J? Good. J. J, J, J. Jelly and jam. Very good. So we are doing letter J. Okay? Letter J. J. J, 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 J. And what are the animals we are talking about here? Jaguar. Very good. Some more? Very good. Jackal. Jellyfish. So the first name we have here is jellyfish. Jellyfish. Now, jellyfish, it lives in the sea. Next we have is jaguar. Good. Jaguar. Jaguar is an animal that lives in the very good forest. Another one, jackal. That looks almost same like a dog, but a little different. Jackal. Okay, we have J sound J. Jellyfish, jaguar, jackal. Now let's see, where do they live? A jellyfish. A jellyfish. A jellyfish lives in the sea. A jellyfish lives in the sea. It'll be just like jelly, soft, and will just float away. Okay, jaguar. He lives in the forest. Very good. A jaguar. A jaguar is an animal that lives. Where does it live? It lives in the forest. Lives in the very good forest. Good. Next. Another animal we have here is jackal. It's a same family as the dog. It looks almost like a dog. A jackal. Jackal lives in the forest. The home is the forest. Very good. Clever children. We have done J. What's the next letter? Let's see. K. Very good. Letter K. Sound K. Letter K. Sound K. Good. Letter K. Okay, now give me some names of animals or birds with K. Very good. Kangaroo. Kangaroo is an animal you find in Australia. It's got a pouch. It'll carry its baby in its pocket. A pouch, you call it. So the first animal is kangaroo. Give me some more animals. Kangaroo. Then kingfisher. That's a bird. Very good. Kingfisher. Kingfisher is a bird. And then one more, koala. Koala bear. Again, you find it in Australia. Koala bear. Koala bear. Now, where do these live? A kangaroo lives in the forest. A kangaroo lives and hops along the path in a forest. kangaroo lives in the forest. Good. Now, what about the kingfisher? Kingfisher is a bird. And where will the kingfisher live? Near the waters. Kingfisher, he likes to catch fish from a pond. So he will live near the pond somewhere. So a kingfisher lives near the pond, near the water place, near the pond. Wherever there is pond, he will look for a place, a nest, live there because he likes to catch fresh fish. Now, koala bear. A koala bear, a koala bear lives on trees in the forest. He loves to jump from tree to tree. Koala bear lives on trees. He loves to jump from one place to another. Now let's look at here. Jellyfish. Where does the jellyfish live? A jellyfish lives in the sea. Very good. Jaguar. Jaguar lives in the forest. Good. A jackal. He also lives in the forest. Good. A kangaroo. Let's look at the kangaroo. Where does the kangaroo live? A kangaroo lives in the forest. A kingfish. A kingfisher. A kingfisher lives near the pond because he loves to catch fish. A koala bear lives on trees. So we have done J and K. Now give me the next letter. What's the next letter? The next letter is L. Sound L. Remember? Good. The next letter is L. L. The sound is L. Now, think about animals with sound L. Let's see how good you are. Okay? Now, please give me the animals. L. Very good line. Good. First one is lion. Where does the lion live? A lion lives in the den. He has his own. A lion lives in the den in the forest. A lion lives in a den. In a den. A lion. Where does the lion live? A lion lives in a den. Okay, give me some more animals with L. Leopard. Very good. Leopard. Leopard. Leopard has got spots on his body. Where does the leopard live? He lives on the trees he can climb trees just like a cat. A leopard lives in the forest. A leopard lives in the forest. In the forest. Very good. A leopard lives in the forest. Leopard, he lives in the forest. Okay, any more? A leopard lives in the forest. Now, what about a lobster? a large prawn, huge one. It's an edible thing and it's called a lobster. Lobsters live in the sea. It's got large shells. So third one is lobster. A lobster. Lobster is a large fish. A lobster lives in the sea. A lobster lives in the big, wide sea. Okay, good. A lobster lives in the sea. We are learning about where do they live. So we got a whole lot of animals here, and we are learning, thinking where they live. So in letter J, sound, we have jellyfish, jaguar, jackal. A jellyfish lives in the sea. A jaguar lives in the forest. A jackal also lives in the forest. Now we have K sound. Kangaroo, kingfisher, koala bear. A kangaroo lives in the forest. A kingfisher lives near the pond because he wants to get some fish, fresh fish. A koala bear lives on trees in the forest. Then we have L sound. L, lion, leopard, and lobster. A lion lives in a den. Very good. A leopard lives in the forest. And a lobster lives in the sea. It's a large insect. It's a large prawn family, but it's got huge shells. So now we are looking at where do these animals live, and we have learned a lot. Very good. Good. We are becoming very clever. You are able to find out where do animals and birds live. Now we go on to another letter. What's that letter? M. Sound. Mm. Give me some animals with M. Monkey. Very good. Mongoose. Good. One more. And mouse. What about tiny little mouse? Okay. Now, letter M. We have the letter M. Sound. Letter M. All right? M. Okay, here is letter M. What is its sound? Okay, letter M and sound is M. Letter M. Here we have the letter M, and the sound of the letter M is And what are the animals we are going to talk about? Monkey. Very good. The first one is monkey. Monkey. Then mouse. Very good. Good children. Mongoose. And then one more. You have mongoose. Mouse and mongoose. Now, let's see where they live. Monkey. Where does a monkey live? A monkey lives on trees. A monkey climbs the tree. Yes, a monkey lives on trees. Lives on trees. Very good. A monkey lives on trees. What about a mouse? A mouse lives in a hole. Very good. A little mouse. A mouse lives in a hole. A tiny hole. What about the mongoose? They also, but they live in a larger hole. They make holes underground. Okay, a mongoose also. A mongoose also lives in a big hole. Good. Let's look at it once again. A monkey. Where does a monkey live? On trees. A mouse lives in a hole. A mongoose lives in a big hole. Very good. Now we go to another letter M. Now we go to N. We finish M. Now we go to letter N. How did it sound? N. Letter N. Here we have letter N. Letter N. Now, the letter N sounds very good. Okay. The letter N sound Now let's have some names of animals. N. We have a single little animal, bird, that is nightingale, a bird that sings the most beautiful song. Okay, if you sing a beautiful song, then they say you are a nightingale. Okay, nightingale, a nightingale. So most beautiful bird that sings. A nightingale lives in a tree. Very good. A nightingale lives in a tree. Lives in a nest in the tree. Very good. What's the next letter? M and O. Sound O. The sound is O. We are doing letter O. Okay. Now, in letter O, let's think about some animals. Let's tell me. Very good. Ostrich. Clever girl. So you have owl. A beautiful little night bird. Owl. Very good. Next, you have ostrich. Then another animal, octopus. Very good. Octopus is a little sea animal with 8 legs. Oyster. Oysters make beautiful pearls. It lives in a shell in the sea and it makes beautiful colored and white pearls. Oyster. Now we have 4 animals here under O. Okay? Now, owl. An owl lives in a tree hole. Okay. An owl lives in a tree hole. Wherever there are old trees with a hole, an owl goes and takes a place there. Ostrich, it's a huge bird, flightless bird. You find most of it in Australia. An ostrich lives in the forest, and it can fly very little, but it's a very good runner. It can run with a high speed. Its eggs are huge. Okay? Octopus. Octopus has 8 tentacles, 8 legs, and it floats like an umbrella in the sea. So, where will you find the octopus? Very good. An octopus lives in the sea. An octopus lives in the sea. An octopus lives in the sea. And finally, we have oyster. They too, oysters are found in the sea. An oyster also lives in the sea. And the divers go down and get it. They dive very deep down to get an oyster. Now, nightingale, we said, a nightingale lives in the tree in the forest. Owl, an owl lives in the tree hole, old tree hole. An ostrich, it lives in the forest. An octopus lives in the sea. And also the oysters, they also live in the sea. So we have done letters M, N, O. M and N and O. We have done 3 letters, M, N, and O. Okay? So we have learned the animals. Each animal has its own home, a happy home, just like we have.